Jerry Castillo. And did y'all confer with probation?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Diane, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. And Mr. Choshi, if you'll move him to the end, because we're going to go on the record. Court is calling 2022 CR 10840, State of Texas versus Jerry Leviathan Castillo. Can I have the parties announced for the record for the state?
Travis Banks for the state of Texas.
Defense.
Peter Calderola for Mr. Castillo, Judge.
And are you Jerry Castillo?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you what's entitled motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you the same Jerry Leviathan Castillo who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2022 CR 10840 for the offense of repeated violation of court order or bond condition on January 20th, 2023 for a period of 5 years? Is that you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state.
Violating condition number 2, on or about the 11th day of September 2023 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Jerry Leviathan Castillo did then and there illegally use a controlled substance, namely marijuana, in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True, Your Honor.
The state will waive and abandon the other allegations.
Any objections to the waivers?
No, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2?
I do, Your Honor.
Court will find violation of condition number 2 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Your Honor, there's no agreement. The state will have its recommendation, which is to grant the motion and revoke the community supervision and sentence the defendant to 4 years TDC and give him credit for time served.
And defense, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, we would just respectfully request that my client, Mr. Castillo, be continued on probation. He's taken substantial steps to his rehabilitation and recovery. This incident day where he did pick up new offenses, he relapsed and made a mistake that day. He realizes that. He's looking forward to the treatment, and if you'd allow it, Judge, he'd like to address the court and just talk about his experience in those programs.
All right. And what I can tell everyone, it appears that you're only going on the marijuana, so the other alleged offenses in the motion to revoke, I'm not considering those as far as revocation, although I do have some questions about those, which I will not ask since those are pending cases. And I'm assuming those are in misdemeanor court?
Yes, Your Honor, they are.
All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear affirm that the testimony will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Jerry Leviathan Castillo.
All right. What would you like to say to the court?
Your Honor, I would just like to address the issues that I've been having with the marijuana and letting you know that upon the courses that you have recommended that I take for parenting classes, it's reminded me that I have much more to lose and so much more to gain with my children. And so I did complete my parenting classes. And upon finishing those parenting classes, I've also gotten sober. So my UAs are being tested negative for anything now. And I just want you to know that I do deeply regret having to see you in that way at that time. And I just want to thank you for your time also, Your Honor.
All right, when did you complete parenting classes?
Your Honor,
I have the certificate here. It was
What date?
It was completed on October 2nd, 23. And then he also completed his BIP course as well.
I've been attending the BIP courses every Thursday.
Oh, so you have.
Yes, it's I've done 4 classes out of 20.
And he has also been attending AA, Judge.
When did you start attending AA?
I have started attending AA on October. October 6th, and I've done it every day up until yesterday.
And we have the proof here. Judge.
Okay. Any questions from the state?
No questions from the state.
All right. Mr. Abrams, what is probation recommending?
Your Honor, the original recommendation for probation was revocation.
All right. So this is the position I'm in. The position I'm in is people are proceeding on a violation of condition number 2, which is marijuana use. The other allegations that are in the motion, nobody's proceeding on those. So really, I shouldn't be considering those because nobody proceeded on those. So I'm not going to take those in consideration with regards to my sentencing because there's no plea of true on that. It's like it doesn't exist in the sense for this motion to revoke because the state waived those. But I am concerned that you're before me. And how old are you?
31, Your Honor.
You should know better. And you should need parenting class to realize that you could potentially be going to prison for 10 years. Would you like to go to prison?
No, ma'am.
Then why are you behaving as though you want to go to prison? Because I've told people before, and people think marijuana is no big deal. Yeah, I'm sure other states believe that, but in Texas, marijuana is illegal, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And I am not here to say, oh, I know marijuana is illegal here in Texas, but I'm going to disregard that because that's the law. And my job is to follow whatever the law is. If there's a law that says for jaywalking, the range of punishment is 10 years in the prison, it is not at this level where I say, I know the law is jaywalking for 10 years in prison, but I'm never sending someone to prison for 10 years for jaywalking because I just follow the law. And I try to use what wisdom I have and experience I have to make a decision on whether to revoke people or not. Yes.
Your Honor, if I may, I do want to point out, we do have on file that Ms. Castillo has been attending his AS classes. There is a progress note from the fifth class, and I do want to make the court aware that his last UA on 225 was negative.
All right. Thank you.
Different things and I think it would be some type of treatment, whether it be inpatient or outpatient treatment would suffice.
All right. Is there something you would like to say?
Oh, I just, yesterday I completed my TAP evaluation and they are gonna grant me the IOP classes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you. All right. This is what the court will do. The court will deny the motion. Alternate mean conditions to include IOP.
Excuse me.
He's to continue with the sober support meetings. How often are you going to sober support meetings?
Every day for 1 hour.
Well, he's continue with sober support meetings. All right. Is there anything else from probation?
Your Honor, as far as ways are concerned,
How often? Previously, we were doing the UA hotline. So we're going to continue with the UA hotline. So we're going to continue with the UA hotline until further notice. And probation, of course, you can always submit if you would like that to change. And I do see that there was previously a referral to felony drug court, but they're full. And they're having problems with the government funding their treatment. Yeah. Okay. All right. Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, Your Honor.
All right, we can go. Court, you presented yourself well. I appreciate that you're addressing appropriately for court. You try to address the issues that are in the motion to revoke. You need to address issues before it gets to the motion to revoke. Do you understand?
I do, Your Honor.
From here on out, you need to be asking yourself every decision you make, could this result in me going to prison for 10 years? If the answer is yes, don't do it. If the answer is maybe, don't do it. You can't always come to court with your hat in your hand begging, saying, I rectified the situation. This is what I'm doing, because you should have been doing that beforehand. Children, you need to think about them beforehand. And if it helps you do well on probation to think about your children, you should be asking yourself this other question. Is this something that I'm doing could result in me perhaps not seeing my children for 10 years? Do you understand?
I understand fully, Your Honor.
And if there is an issue with probation, you can always come to the court. If you have a question or if you need help, go to probation. You understand?
I do.
All right, good luck to you.
Your Honor.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
I also like to wish you a happy birthday, Judge.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
You have a good day.
You too.
Have a great rest of your day, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Birthday.
Oh, thank you so much. Sorry. All right, court is calling 2023 CR 5312, State of Texas versus Alberto Soto. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
And Ron Ross for defendant.
Are you Mr. Soto?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you entered a plea of no contest on September 19th to the offense of aggravated robbery. According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishments be assessed at a cap of 8 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine, and the state is silent on your application. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, do you have any witnesses?
I do not.
All right, is this solely going to be argument from both sides?
It is, Judge.
Well, state, not from you.
Yes,
but-
Your Honor.
All right, the court will hear argument.
Judge, my client is 63 years old, and I know you got the PSI and got a whole bunch of prior cases listed on his, but I would point out that most of them are 30 and 40 years old.
Mhm.
The recent ones in San Antonio was the DWI a couple of years ago, but most everything is well before 2000. This incident happened. The statement from the victim was he wasn't injured. He displaced his shoulder or something with a little scuffle he had. My client's position all along was this was a scuffle over money that was owed him. My guy was a contractor. My client worked for him. And the guy was 27 that he worked for. I think my guy's 63. And I know sometimes these guys try to rip people off. My guy living at VA with the VA. Apparently my guy, according to the victim, had a knife, displayed a knife. There's no indication he used it. And his injury.
Just 1 second. Hi, we're having problems. That's okay. Go ahead.
His injury was from the displaced shoulder. All this stuff is in the report. And
Mhm.
I think the victim has verified what I've just told you about that. My client understands deferred adjudication consequences of messing up. He's been in San Antonio for about 7 years, came from New Jersey. And he's worked in construction, various jobs when he gets with contractors. He's been to the VA for mental health, I think, at one time. He's got possibly lung cancer. He's got emphysema, some lung problems. He tells me he joined the Mormon church about a year ago.
Can you explain to me about because in the police report, the suspect is saying, I'm sorry, the complainant is saying that your client took $250 from him and it was in a Chase envelope. And then when the police came upon your client, he had the $250, but the Chase envelope was on the ground.
Yeah, that's correct. That's where the robbery comes in. Now that's where he says my client's whole position the whole time was the guy owed me $600. He paid me $250 of the $600, and that's all he paid me. That's what the scuffle was about. And he took the money, the $250 that the guy allegedly gave him, and left the truck and was walking away. Took the money out and dropped the envelope. So that's my understanding of the facts, and reading between the lines, that could well be true. My client though is taking responsibility and it's played no contest to this. And I'm asking the court to give him defer. He's 63. He's got medical problems. He hasn't been in trouble for a very long time except for that DWI. He has been employed. He's not, he's not a burden on society, I don't think. And I don't think he's a violent individual. Doesn't seem to be. So I would ask you to give him probation. I would ask him if he would like to address the court. Would you like to address the court? Would you like to tell the judge anything? Yes.
All right, you want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Alberto Soto.
All right, so just so you know, that the state will be allowed to cross-examine you if they feel that you are not, or if you're veering outside what is deemed to be facts. You understand? All right. What would you like to say?
Right now, my lungs are in really bad shape. I'm taking medicines for it. I get a CT scan every 2 months.
All right, do you want to say anything about why you're
Yeah.
here?
Yeah, because of the case. It was just an argument between me and my boss, and it was stupid. I know. And I just want to apologize for it.
What was the argument about?
About the money he owed me from work.
All right. And how long had you been working for him?
About a month and a half.
How had he paid you in the past?
He passed.
How did he pay you in the past?
He only paid me one time
No, but how did he
Oh.
pay you?
in cash.
In cash?
Yes.
And what work were you doing for him?
I was doing tape and float and sheetrock.
And so what was your agreed upon contract with him?
I was doing $17 an hour. And I had worked that week 6 days, 5 days. I missed on Friday. And man, he owed me for 5 days. He only gave me for 2 days.
So how much money did he give you for 2 days?
$250. And then we wound up arguing about the rest of the money.
So you had been working for him for a month, you say, and he's only paid you $250 total?
No, he paid me the week before what he owed me.
Mhm.
And he also held back a week. So he held back a week. So really he owes me for like 2 weeks
Mhm.
right now. So they took the $250 off me and gave it back to him.
All right, where did the knife come in?
I didn't have a knife.
So you're saying you never pointed a knife at him?
No,
Do you want a jury trial?
no.
But you're taking responsibility.
I'm taking responsibility for this.
All right, because if you want to, if you're saying there was never a knife, then I will give you a jury trial if you wish to have a jury trial.
No, ma'am. I'm taking responsibility for this.
Right, any questions from the state?
Mr. Ross said that you're not a violent person. Was this a violent incident?
Not really.
You don't think so? Okay. Can you tell the court why you think you'd be a good candidate for deferred?
I'm 63 years old. I'm a Mormon. I go to church every Sunday. I've been baptized a Mormon for over a year now. And it was just stupid mistake that we had. It was just an argument. And it will never happen again. This is the first time I ever had a violent incident with anybody.
Let me ask you, you've been here in San Antonio for about 7 years, you tell me?
Yes,
Have you been employed most of this time?
yes.
And what do you do? So good.
I renovate houses. I've also worked at the Marriott over here in South. So
You work for contractors.
for
right?
contractors, yeah. So,
And if you're given probation, you're gonna go back to work?
oh yeah, I'm going back to work. I usually I'll have a job within 2 weeks.
And where are you gonna live at?
Right now I'm staying with the veterans at the GI Forum, North Medina.
What, are you a veteran?
Yes, ma'am. I'm ex-Marine.
Was he? Vashon, could you see if Veterans Treatment Court could come down and speak to him? All right, we're going to come back on this. I'm going to see what Veterans Treatment Court has to say. So just give us a moment. Court is calling 2021 CR 1800 State of Texas versus Jacob Bgo. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state.
Defense?
Hancock for the defendant.
And are you Jacob Bgo?
Yes, ma'am.
Going to show you what's entitled motion to revoke community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
And Judge, if I may interrupt.
Yes.
We were gonna ask for a quick reset, so there are two cases that are on the MTR. We
Mhm.
don't have drug labs back on those, but those cases would likely encapsulate this MTR.
Okay. All right, how long is it going to take?
It's been about a month and about a week, so possibly another month, we should have the labs back by then.
All right. Let me ask you a question, and we're not on the record. If you're drug tested today, are you going to be positive? For what?
Heroin.
All right. All right, let's go off the record for a moment. All right, Norma, on Mr. Borrego, if I can have a 30-day reset, please.
December 7th.
All right, we're going to come back on December 7th. Between now and December 7th, you are to do a sober meeting a day. Do you understand? Vashan? On Mr. Borrego, he's going to get a reset date for December 7th. But as a part of his conditions, he's going to do a sober meeting a day until that date
Okay, Your Honor,
as a condition of his bond. Sure. All right. Do you understand? Here's the thing. You told me you're going to be positive for heroin. Heroin is a very, very dangerous drug. You never know if the last time you use is going to be the last time you use. Do you have children? And how old are they?
I got a 1 month dog. She just turned a year on the 24th of this month, and then I got a 2-year-old.
All right. So you don't want them to be carrying the baggage that their father died from a drug overdose.
I know.
And you don't want somebody to come out and identify your body. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So I know that it's a hard habit to kick. I understand that. But you can start by doing the sober meetings. And I do know that there are inpatient facilities, which, because we're not hearing this motion, I can't necessarily order you to go. But there's lifetime recovery. There are other things. And I know you were in felony drug court. So they have other locations for you. And you should probably try to find an inpatient treatment facility for yourself. And who knows, that may help you with your the negotiations with the state. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll see you back on December 7th.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Judge.
Yes. All right, Mr. Soto, we're going to come back on December 5th.
Okay.
All right, so what's going to end up happening is the persons from Veterans Treatment Court, you're going to stay in custody. They're going to speak to you to see maybe if you're eligible for their program. If you're not eligible for their program, they're going to give me other options. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If I were to make a decision on your case right now, I don't have any options. So it's best that I have options in your case. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You have any questions about anything?
No, ma'am.
All right, just make sure that when the VA, when they come to, VA, Veterans Treatment Court, when they come to speak to you, that you talk to them, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we'll bring you back on December 5th, and at that time, I'll make my decision.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.